good morning and happy Monday to you, Paula. It's Latrina. It's been quite a while since we last spoke, but shortly after we spoke, I had some things that came up with a couple of my clients that required me to put out some fires with their website and some movement activities with their domains, etc. And I kind of lost track of my screencast that I had on, waiting list. So I apologize. I just realized this over the weekend that I had never made your screencast. So I am sending that to you right away now, making that for you. So what I'm going to do is go over your existing online presence. I make these videos, as I mentioned before, for free. There's nothing that you need to do other than watch it. If you have feedback, I'd greatly appreciate that. But really, I make these as a gift to other business owners just to impart some value and hopefully give them some tips on how to improve their online presence. If there are any things that I see, I will point them out. So what I'm going to cover is content, backlinks, and citations and why these are important website elements. Again, we'll take a look at your online presence, and if I see any reasons or opportunities for improvement, I will mention them for your consideration. So content, as you may know already, is anything that appears on your website. It's your words, your videos, images, anything that's there for our readers to look at. You want to have enough content because this is how you are going to get all of your relevant keywords onto your website. And the keywords are what people are using to search for services and products, right? So you want to make sure you have those exact keywords on your website. Ideally, you want at least 1,500 words on your homepage, which seems like a lot, but really it's standard at this point. It's what Google needs for the bots to crawl your website. It also sets you apart from your competition. Your back pages don't need quite as many keywords. You can have at least 500 on your back pages. Again, it kind of depends on what your competition is doing. You want to be doing at least what they are, and ideally better or more than they are. Citations are what you find on your in directories like Google, Yellow Pages, Yelp. And then there's an example on the screen there for you. It's merely your business name, address, and phone number, but citations are critical when it comes to online presence. This is where you are sprinkling your thumbprint throughout the internet, and Google uses the amount and quality and quantity of citations to identify legitimate businesses. So the more citations you have, the more Google is willing to trust you and see you as a legitimate business. And then backlinks are even more important. Backlinks are the placement of your website onto other websites. So if you think about Facebook, Yelp, Yellow Pages, LinkedIn, any of those, these are considered backlinks because they redirect traffic away from those sites back to your website. Not all backlinks are created equal. So you're in the photography, creative space, so those are the type of backlinks that you would want. But Google does place high emphasis on how many backlinks a company has or a website has. So to Google, it's like a popularity contest. Think about high school. If you were friends with the popular people, then somehow you became popular or relevant. It's similar to the internet. It's very juvenile, but the more backlinks you have, the more popular your website becomes in the eyes of Google. And in addition, Google sees that as a measure of trust. If other businesses are willing to list your website on theirs, then it shows that there's some measure of trust, okay? So that's all about backlinks. So let's hop over to your website real quick. First of all, I love your website. I saw this when we spoke. I just like the aesthetics of it and the style and how it loads. One thing I would recommend, it would be helpful if you have, I know you have your chat widget here, but if you could put somewhere on the first half of your fold of your page a contact form, that would help people to get in touch with you right away. I would also make sure your logo and phone number are easier to see and find. I would also make this a link that people can click and dial immediately without having to go to their phone and manually dial it. So a click to call and a contact form somewhere in the first half of your fold. I like how you are taking your visitors on a tour. these steps all make sense except when we get here. I would move this somewhere else because it sort of interrupts the tour that the virtual tour that you were giving. Like you were calling out the steps, and then all of a sudden there's this little love note, and then you're back on the tour again. Now that what she would do with all stunning photos. So I would actually move this, or recommend moving it somewhere so it doesn't distract from the experience that you were trying to create here. Okay. Let's see. I think maybe have some more contact information down here at the bottom so that people can see that at the end. But yeah, I would definitely, and if you have an opportunity, create more content. If you remember, 1,500 words or more on your front page is recommended because this allows Google to crawl your website and spend more time learning about what it is you do. They don't see photos, okay? So the bots will notice that you have graphics, but unless they're tagged, they don't really spend a lot of times with the graphics, okay? So that's why content is important. All right, so let's hop over into Google. So first of all, you are ranking pretty well as far as, and I don't know if it's because you're in a small town or whatever, but you do show up pretty quickly here on the front page when I type in this. Okay, so those keywords right there are bringing you at the top of the page. I also think that you have a pretty good laid out Google profile here. It looks like you have lots of photos. I would continue to add photos, continue to add content. Your ratings are very good, and they look like you have some recent ratings as well. I saw some in there like 2-3 months old, so I think you're doing an awesome job there. I would just keep adding content like you do. That helps you to be relevant in Google's eyes, and you're already doing that. So I would also, if you haven't already turned it on, I would turn on your chat feature in Google so that people can communicate with you as well within your Google profile. Okay, so now let's look at your SEO. So there are a couple of things you may want to take care of. Most of it is pretty good. You have a few warnings. You're not using your headers, your HTML headings on your page consistently, so I would take a look at that and use those appropriately throughout the page. Headings are important because this identifies to Google the hierarchy of the content. So which sections are most important, which ones should Google be paying most attention to. Also, your images are not labeled with appropriate alt tags, so you want to make sure you do that as well. Take advantage of labeling those images so that you can also rank for keywords there as well, okay? Again, more text, more content on your page would help you. Let's see. I had some more. Okay, so looking at your page speeds, right now your mobile is a little bit of concern. The performance is only a 26. This is out of 100, so you're in the red there. Mainly, it's probably going to be having to do with your optimization of your photos. A lot of times that's what's hurting optimization on loading pages or loading speeds. So take a look at your images and see if you can compress them or optimize them so that you don't have a terrible loading speed. Especially most people are using mobile technologies to visit websites. So if anything, you want your mobile to be better than your desktop version. Your desktop version, let's see, it's not that much better. So definitely take a look at your imagery and make sure that they are optimized because they're reducing the speed, the loading speed of your page, and you don't want that. People move on if they don't have a good experience when they get to your website with the speed, they will go to your competitor. Likewise for Google, they are very hypersensitive about everyone's experiences when they go to a website. So if they see a loading speed very low, then they will give you less preference. Okay, so definitely take some time to explore what you can do to improve that. If we look at your data isn't terrible actually. You have a lot of backlinks and keywords that you're ranking for. I do notice that the keywords that you're ranking for aren't necessarily buyer intent. It looks like you're placed on a lot of websites and have backlinks there, but the buyer intent keywords aren't necessarily there. This one right here is a buyer intent keyword. This is what people would most likely type in when they're looking for your services, right? You're ranking number 15 for that. 150 people search that every single month approximately. This is also a buyer intent keyword, Tampa Bay. So you're number 13, 90 people are searching that every month. So these keywords here are the ones that you want to rank for very well, okay? So Tampa, boudoir photography, same thing here, 70, 60 people searching every month. You're number 14 and 15. These are not terrible rankings, but as you can imagine, the closer you are to the top of the rankings, like the top 10, the more likely you are to get people to your page, okay? But you have a lot of keywords that are not buyer intent keywords, and probably because you are listed in blog posts, etc. They do help you with Google as far as relevancy, but as far as organic keyword searches, what people are actually typing in to find you, these are the type of keywords that people would be searching. So I would try to get as many of these keywords as you can on your home page and your back pages to improve your ranking. So with that, I'm going to end it here. I hope this has been helpful. I do apologize for the delay. I do like your website overall. It's very helpful. It helps to impart what the experience would be like and what people can expect when they make an appointment with you. So kudos for that. If you have any questions, Paula, please feel free to reach out. I am, again, available for any questions, or if you need any assistance with anything, let me know, and I'll be happy to discuss what options you have to improve your online presence. But again, I think you're doing pretty well so far. Thank you for your time. I wish you a beautiful rest of your day, and take care. Bye-bye.